Some beautiful skins out here, and we're going to get this one underway. The first match in this set of two between Corvidae and Alpha Sydney here on CGTV CSGO.
Certainly is. Waiting for this one to pop off. We have go, and both teams looking to try and get their choice of side.
We're seeing Corvidae pushing up through the stairs now. They're going to meet in the middle around Fountain, and it's going to be the dance of death, like they only know how, with knives, like a man fight.
Yeah, certainly is. No one wanting to go in yet. Still standing off. The T's backing off a little bit and holding him at this door, 300 style.
Yeah, look, this is Sparta, and Dan seems to be the man of the hour as he pushes out on his own to get some scoping through. There's Bassetti moving in here. M-Swag gets the first, or Blackout gets Bassetti, and Arcee going to get on Blackout. So there's a trade there. We do have some damage coming through here. Good stabs, and there goes Requiem. Corvidae taking out several now, and it's M-Swag against Dan's and Hecky Boy. 2 cuts, there's one. M-Swag needs to get one hit on Dan's. It's going to be the luck of the strike here. Whoever hits first takes this round out for the knife round, and they will pick. Good movement coming out there, and there it is, Dan's with the Karambit Doppler. Beautiful knife. He's going to take out the opposition in M-Swag, and Corvidae get the pick. And Alpha Sydney preparing for this one.
M-Swag almost did very well there to take out 2 with his 1. Luckily, he had the 100 health, but couldn't get the last hit. Quite an extended knife round as well.
It was. It was a long-played knife round. Some strategy into it as both teams were trying to gain the upper hand in positioning. I think that was the key there, is that Corvidae were playing for intel, basically. They were playing for information and to work out exactly how their opponents in Alpha Sydney were going to play it. Corvidae opting for the CT side on this one. We're going to see Alpha Sydney pushing here. First round underway at CGTV CSGO coming through. Alpha Sydney against Corvidae. And we're seeing M-Swag, they're on the T side. Going to be looking to push out here.
Yeah, Corvidae trying to move forward, going up the middle of the map. Not sure which site they're going to go for right now. Looks like maybe A, as A is getting stacked heavily by the CT side.
It is stacked heavily. We've got 5 on A, and of course you've got Herbs chilling down under. Oh, no, sorry, not Herbs, but Bassetti chilling down underneath, and the T's really pushing hard on this A site. They're looking for some views over toilets and long. Blackout gets tagged up here. He's going to have to retreat back. 39 HP left for him, and they're just playing the slow pistol round for some picks.
Yeah, still not too much action going on. This is looking a lot like the knife round previously. No one really wants to make the first move.
And we're seeing Corvidae rotating. They're looking through heaven. We're back on M-Swag now, who's copped some touches from Blackout. They are pushing here. We've got one behind near bank, one at truck, one at stairs. There's 4 looking for the site now, and M-Swag takes out Blackout. That's going to be 1 down for the site. Cyb, a good one here, takes out Requiem. Heck, going to take out Demo, and it's Dan's onto M-Swag. The trade's coming out. HC gets Arcee as well, and Cyb retreating back to toilets. It's going to be there with Bassetti. It's now 3v2, and the CTs don't seem to know that they have the site.
Yeah, they're completely over the site, but no one wants to go for the bomb, just fearing any shot through. Molotov will go out, but they can't get through. 10 health now for Bassetti, and he's gone.
But Bassetti does get the barbecue onto Herbs. Dan's going to rotate after getting that kill and will get the defusal here. He's done very well to take that one out, but the molly just wasn't quite enough for his teammate to stick that bomb defusal. The damage just too great, and the heat too strong.
Yeah, and Alpha Sydney, they did lose the site, but managed to retake it easily. With the 4 sitting there, didn't want to take the bomb out, and yeah, managed to do it with their 1 left.
That's right, managed to get 1 left, played it smart, played the numbers game. They had the advantage in terms of manpower and took that site back with ease. Also helps. Alpha Sydney were moving back. Of course, Corvidae did take that site back. Yeah, Corvidae did take the site back, managed to hold on to it. But in saying that, Alpha Sydney managed to rotate that one through.
Now moving to the A site once again. They are pushing A long very, very hard.
They certainly are. We see the rotates come through here. Blackout, oh my goodness, gets 2 with the up. Requiem with 1. Dan's takes out Cyb, and it's going to be Dan's picking up Blackout as well. Accidental team kill there. HC picks up Arcee, and it's going to be a big trade.
That push onto A didn't really seem to work through that long, as sitting on the CT spawn, they were there ready.
They certainly were. And as we see the T's looking to push in here, going to be interesting if we can get Alpha Sydney to take out a round.
Yeah, moving into round 3 here now. Corvidae still have managed to buy up here. They've managed all AKs even though they haven't been able to win a round yet. So their economy quite okay, but they're going to want to take this one out. Otherwise, they might be in a little bit of trouble.
We've got Blackout watching the angle there to party and gets the shoulder of Bastetti. Great shot coming through from him. Going to put him down. That's opening it up for Corvidae here. And it's a rotation now. Mitch waiting on the ramp down by the B site. He's holding this position here with his teammate over by Monster. That's Herbs, of course, waiting there and holding that position. Now, if we do have a mix-up on the scoreboard, it seems, up the top. Corvidae is, of course, on the CT side. They have won 2 rounds. It does have Alpha Sydney's name there, so we're going to have a look at that one. But Alpha Sydney are lacking behind. The T's just can't seem to get around forward. They do have 4 AKs now. They've got utility and all have head armor. So let's see if they can make good use of these nades. They're 1 man down already. Bastetti being that one to have fallen here at Party. The bomb going to be picked up. We're waiting for a pick from the CTs, but no one in toilets watching that bomb, although it had already dropped. It's now going to be the push from the T. Slow push now with 35 left on the clock. And they're going to be positioning near toilets to rain down nades and take this one out. Miss flash coming through there from Mwave, though. Flashed himself and his teammate. They're going to be pushing out now. Orp in Blackouts watching through toilets. He's looking to try and get an angle. Needs to watch long, though. Gets the turn onto Cyb. And Requiem sitting on site. There's one. Looks for the second, but Demo takes out Requiem. Mitch now rotating through Bank. He's going to be coming up now. It's Demo onto the site. Takes out Blackout. Mitch looking for one here. And he's going to find Demo. Gets him. And Corvidae win this round. Another great round for them. It's 3-0 now. And economy not looking good for Alpha Sydney. They're all sitting around 2.5k. It's not going to be great buys for them, but maybe we'll be able to see them pull something out.
Yeah, Corvidae took so long to make that push as well, just letting that clock wind down. Almost only left themselves with A, and that allowed the CT side of Corvidae to just sit back and take advantage. Now they're pushing B hard. They've gone for the other route as moving up nicely. Straight through the fire, though. That's going to take down a lot of health.
Wow, Herbs and Dan's doing some work. Dan's with 2, Herbs with 2, and it's just Ozzy now left up to try and make this work. He is on the point. Mitch going to pick him up and trades all around here, or kills, I should say, for the Corvidae side. Dan's picking up 2, Herbs with 2, and it's a full house almost. Mitch picking up that 3rd for the clean.
That change of strategy going for the B site did not work at all there. They were right onto it. That beautiful Molotov as well.
Oh, that Molly roasted them, and it was great positioning from the Corvidae side to make sure they collapsed on Alpha Sydney and get onto them as they tried to make movement. They pincered them, coming from all sides from site, and both from, of course, the door out from the connector. So it was a bit of a rough gig for them. Blackout picks one on Swag. We're seeing the push from Cyb, and he's going to rush him there. And the T's with pistols looking to make use of their mobility and really rush the CT. So I'm going to plant this one. Of course, Demo did pick up the AWP, and he'll have to make good use of that. Bastetti, big one tap from the Deagle, and that's Requiem sat down in toilets.
Wow, 4-0 in this. Moving forward, takes him out. And
oh, Bastetti with the trade, though. Dan's took out Ozzy. Bastetti took out Dan's, and now it's Herbs going down to Cyb. The big diffusal coming through here. Mitch going to look to stick it. He tagged, and he's down. And that's the first round for Alpha Sydney. They take this one, doing really well to come back despite their eco.
That was so close there in the smoke. 1 second left on the defuse, but just couldn't get there. Corvidae, this is their pick. They need to do well on this map.
And they are doing well. 4 rounds to 1. They're proving themselves on this overpass. So if they can keep that up, we're going to be seeing good things from them into the second half. 5 rounds played, of course. 4-1 is the scoreline for Corvidae in the lead. And with 1:35 left in this round, it's again looking to be a slow push from the T's as Alpha Sydney look to make picks and try and get this game swinging in their favour.
The board are completely spread out with players now. There's a lot of opportunities for either site pick, but no one really wants to make a move right now.
No, we see the T side of Alpha Sydney is cradling around the playground and fountain area. They do then want to establish mid-map control or establish long control by taking out Blackout, but Blackout's sitting there on that AWP. He's going to look for the peak, and Bastetti, there it is. We've opened up the map on the long side, and now we need to see the T's rotate and make use of that. They are moving towards the mid again. Bomb has been picked up, and could be a rotation. Demo's holding that bomb, and he's at the back end. They're looking to make noise, and they've hoped to fake out their opponents in Corvidae, getting that pick long and wanting to force a rotation to A. That way now they can go B uncontested. It's not going to work, though, and Corvidae too smart for that. Cyb moving through here. The molly goes down, the flash as well. Cyb takes out Herbs, and it's going to be a roasting. Herbs takes out Cyb with Mitch's help. RC going to get Mitch as well. The trade's coming through here. Dan's on M-Swag. Requiem picking up RC. And it's going to be Bastetti picking up Dan's. Requiem, the last one up with 42 HP and a Dream. 7 HP, 25 HP. He needs to get some spray down here. He needs to find the players and take them out. He's going to find one. There's one. Looks for the turn. He's looking for Bastetti. And we'll find him here down at Monster. An easy defuse for him. He's going to look for a kit, but he's just going to go for the defusal here. 10 seconds. He's got plenty of time left on that bomb. Doesn't matter. He has no kit and no clue.
Yeah, great patience there from Requiem as well. Against 2 players, but they were so low health. All he needed to get was a few tags on them, and they go down.
He picks up the AWP to finish off this round. Save that one for his team and save a little bit of their economy. It'll be interesting to see who picks this one up, whether he gives it to Blackout again to hold the long angle. I reckon he will. And we're going to see the Alpha Sydney side, look, they're down now 5-1. We need to see something pulled out from them in order to take this forward. They have been able to buy up now, of course, 4 AKs and an AWP. Bastetti going up against Blackout, it seems. But it'll be interesting to see who can pull this out, because Bastetti took Blackout out last time when they went AWP versus AWP.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful shot, and it really opened up the map for the Alpha Sydney side as they could move forward, but they just couldn't take it out. Moved in with more players, but their health was too low to come away with it.
Bastetti now playing the long. No one's there, though. He's not going to find his rival in Blackout, the opposing Orba, and he's going to rotate through to the mid to see if he can make some plays with his team through toilets. Of course, no one waiting that far up. Blackout is sitting, watching the angle down here to stairs past toilets, and we're going to see Arzi pushing through in the X-ray, waiting for him. Blackout, if only he'd waited a little longer, might have been able to find a pick.
Yeah, we see the bomb slightly moving towards the A site here. Going up the middle, though, looking for A short. But we have the CTs. They are sitting around it very, very nicely. Still drop the bomb. And once again, we have a standoff completely. Blackout got picked off, though.
Bastetti taking him out once again. Seems that he's quicker on the trigger and the flick. And that's going to be an opening here for Alpha Sydney. They, once again, want to look to exploit this opening and see if they can make moves. However, Corvidae too experienced for that. They're waiting on their 2-man site, and for more information, we see the smokes come through here. Requiem getting naded. He's looking for an opponent to shoot at. It's not going to happen. Arzi moving around. He's looking to get to Monster, and we see the rotate. A lot of noise being made on the side. Demo takes out Dan's, and Requiem going to answer back. But, of course, the rotates come through from the T side. Herb sitting in the smoke. He pushes out and gets taken out by M-Swag. And it's going to be a T site. There goes Mitch, taken down by Cyb. And the last man left, Requiem, goes for the spray, gets one, but trades out for Arzi.
Yeah, there's only about 7 seconds left on the clock as well, so they were really struggling to get through. That one player almost held them off for just long enough, but I think it was 4-on-1 in the end, just couldn't get there.
Will be interesting to see how round 8 pans out as Alpha Sydney are managing to take off one round. Corvidae now looking to bring this back. They're suffering. They've got pistols, and Herbs is on the ump with some utility. Hopefully can make use of that. Mitch and Dan. Oh, no, sorry. Mitch, the only one with head armor, but he's also bought a kit. He's looking to hold on to that and make use of it as they try and hold off against a board-up Alpha Sydney T-side.
Yeah, Alpha Sydney really turning this around. They went down 4-zip, but now bringing it back a little bit. They've got the full buy into...
essentially an anti-eco. It's a half eco coming through here, and we're going to see the push from M-Swag, taken out by that beautiful CZ of Requiem. A wonderful pistol, a favourite in my books.
And picks up the AK as a bonus.
Exactly right. That trade out of weaponry going to prove pivotal as the T's try and push in. CTs are going to have the firepower to fight back with.
Yeah, 1 minute left on this push. Looks like the T's might be looking for the B site. The CTs are spread out quite a bit there. But we'll see if they can push through a little bit better than when they got Molotoved and completely wiped out that one time.
We might not see a roasting this round. The only molly is on Herbs, and he's not quite in the position. He's sitting at barrels. He might be looking to use it on Monster here, and it's a slow push through the smoke. Alpha Sydney communicating about whether they need to rush through. Now, Herbs is going to see them. That's one with the ump. Going to take out two. That's a big pick for him. The ump going to do him well on that angle. We're seeing the push now. Requiem following up. He's watching short. Mitch takes out Demo, and it's going to be a push to get the last man. Bastetti, the last one up. He does have AWP, and he's going to take out Herbs before falling down to Dan's. Deagle, a fitting execution.
And the buy worked for him in the end. There was a full buy from Alpha Sydney. Corvidae a little bit low, but they managed to come out with a huge win there.
That's right. They managed to have the AWP in their, or the AK in their favour after a pick, and they've managed to also use their rotations to their advantage. Their utility served them well as well, making sure that those nades were put to good use. And that's what you have to do on these poor rounds, is make sure that the resources you've got serve you well over the course of the round. Rounds aren't long, and we're seeing big moves from Dans here. He takes out two. Ozzy gets in the back, and Herbs takes out Ozzy. There's Demo picking up Herbs. Cybe picks up Mitch, and the nade from Mitch going to take out Demo before he falls down. It's now a 2-on-1, and Cybe is going to be the one chilling here, trying to take this round. 1v2 clutch inbound.
Absolute bloodbath coming through there, and the two CTs that were sitting at A are going to have the advantage of a 1-on-2, the AWP and the M4. Nice happy days for them.
We see Cybe, he's waiting at the back, looking for his opportunity here to push up from Monster. Blackout and Requiem waiting on the CT side of the B-bomb site. They've only got the one angle, though. Might be nice for Requiem to rotate and look to get that heaven pick. He is watching the back end of the stairs. Not sure where Cybe is. They don't have that information, unlike we do. Cybe pushing around the site, making sure he clears it out properly. He's waiting for a good look. 40 seconds left on the clock, and he's looking to poke here. And Blackout goes down. Cybe rotating now. And we need to see Requiem pull out something big. Requiem moves around the corner. Gonna see him. Fires. And doesn't get the plant down. So that means Alpha Sydney missed out on the plant money. Requiem taking him out before he could stick it long enough to make sure that he got the bomb plant money. And another round for Corvidae. 7-2 now. We're coming up to almost to half-time in this map. And Corvidae are putting on a show on their pick.
Yeah, definitely doing amazingly well on this one. 7-2. They turn the economy around completely. And now Alpha Sydney on a full eco.
They certainly are. Pistols is all they can manage. Cybe's managed to pick one up, but we've got a lot of Glocks here as well. And Blackout, now he's able to pick up Aries because he doesn't have an AWP coming out in Bastetti to challenge him. It's going to be big dinks coming through here. Cybe picks up one. That's Blackout gone down in toilets. Bastetti and Demo rotating. Dans takes out Cybe. And now we're back to a 4v3. The advantage still with Corvidae. Mitch rotating back upstairs now. And he's going to look on to get onto the A site.
Yeah, T's looking to push A this time. 3-on-3 right now. But Bastetti's, he's managed to pick up the AWP, so they're looking a little bit better.
They are looking a little bit better. He's got a sharp shot on him, and it's going to be interesting to see if he can pick up any frags. We've got 1 minute left. They're going to be looking to rotate slowly through toilets and get some more information. Bastetti watching this long angle. No one there yet. We are seeing the movement come out from Mitch. But he's not moving far enough away from those boxes for Bastetti to get an angle on him. Swag going to be moving up here. Requiem's watching the toilets angle. And, of course, we've got Herbs down towards B waiting. And as the T's push up on long now, they're getting in position, ready for a push onto the site. And the rotates come through. Mitch going to fall down to M-Swag. There's the pitch from Toilet. Requiem picks up a 3K. Demo, Bastetti, and M-Swag all fall down, and some spray coming out from that M4 serves him well. That's going to be 8 rounds now for Corvidae against Alpha Sydney. The pause coming out.
Requiem coming out huge there. It looked like the T's had a good chance of taking that site after they did manage the 1 kill on the site, but then Requiem just hiding around the corner, picks off all 3 at once.
Absolutely phenomenal work. That toilets angle was good for him because he was able to turn as soon as that pick went down and opened up the site. He was there with the prime angle to take out the opposing team, wipe them, get that 3K, and of course now we're headed into a pause here. Might be attack pause, and we do have Corvidae asking to unpause the game ready when Alpha Sydney are prepared. Looking at the scoreboard here, Requiem doing quite well. 12 kills, 2 assists, and 4 deaths. He's got 2 talking stars, as I like to call them, the MVPs for the rounds, and 28 points. He leads his team at the moment. Dan's following that up equally as well, 11, 2, and 5 with 2 MVPs. We're yet to see an MVP come out for good old Herbs, though.
No, not just yet, but there's still a while to go, unless Corvidae can just run over this and take it 16-2, but you wouldn't expect so. Once we get the side reset, the CT sides on Alpha Sydney should be a little bit better than they are currently.
I think Alpha Sydney are hoping for a little bit better performance on their CT side. They're looking to take as many rounds as possible here on Overpass against the Corvidae map pick, and then hopefully they can back it up with some round wins on CT and take this to a victory. At the moment, they're just pressing for rounds. And if they can manage to do that, I reckon if Alpha Sydney can manage to push this to a good 5-6 rounds, they might have a better chance when we have half-time. Yeah,
and we do have them on the full buy now. They've ecoed up enough so that they can contest it evenly. As Corvidae, though, 6 rounds up right now. But poking up through and taken straight out, Dan's.
He's a little bit too aggressive on the CT side. He was trying to gain information, and now he's gained limited knowledge of the positioning here. It's going to be Blackout moving around, having a look here at the long angle across short. No one in toilets. It's going to be Aries sitting at the back waiting with MSwag. They're looking for perhaps a boost here. MSwag going for the jump. Mitch moving on to the B site. Trying to find an angle here. Cyb is waiting through Monster, and we've got Herbs watching that angle as well. They haven't seen each other yet. Cyb walking here. It's Herbs on the crouch, and he's going to fire, take him out with a headshot. M-Swag now rotating the molly out on the stairs. Smoke coming through onto site, looking to put out that molly, and there's the shot. Blackout takes one, Requiem with the other one, and Demo takes out Requiem. Blackout with another snipe, and it's 3v1. Bastetti, the rival, is going to be the last one up. He's looking for picks here, looking through the smoke, not going to be firing at Blackout, and it might be wise for him to save the AWP in this instance. Look for exit frags. There it is, not going to get that plant down with that much limited time left. He holds onto the AWP for the next round. Going to be very handy as his team does have quite limited economy, only 3 grand each. And Bastetti, he's a weapon with that AWP. He can take out Blackout. We've seen it round after round. If he can open up the map with that AWP pick initially, then we might see a good eco round for Alpha Sydney.
Yeah, may be indeed. Alpha Sydney, though, they are up against it. The CT side may be a little bit better for them, but if they go down so far, Corvidae can just eco for a few rounds and try pull it out. So
and we're seeing trade. Big trades coming out. Herbs getting some damage down. He takes out Cyber before he goes down to Demo. Dan picking up 1 for himself. That's 2 now with Bastetti falling as well. Unable to use that AWP to good effect. We've got Khalil's out. M-Swag is the last one left as Aries goes down to Mitch. Big picks for him. He's going to take out 2 kills. So will Dan's. And Herbs following that one up.
These aggressive pushes for Alpha Sydney to the bomb sites are just not working. Someone from Corvidae, it could be Requiem, it could be Dan's normally, but someone is picking off quite a lot of players. And there you go, we've got our 5th player with the MVP for Corvidae.
There it is. It's evened it out now, and we're going to see the boys looking to maintain an offensive, an offensive CT side, really. They're pushing up quite hard. They're maintaining big angles with the boosts coming through to make sure they get those early picks on the T side. And especially when they've got the range in the AWPs, double AWP for that matter. It's good to see them using that range to their advantage, trying to get the angles early and take out these T sides with their rushes, especially when you've got 3 Tech 9s and 2 Deagles. It's a headshot waiting to happen.
Yeah, and they're pretty much forced to try and rush in again, which has not been working for them. Corvidae's just been picking them off one by one, and it hasn't actually looked too difficult for them. There's been massive trading off, but in the end, Corvidae keeps winning out.
Blackout waiting on the site here. He's waiting for short, but not going to have Demo push there. Aries pushing out here. We're seeing a very stacked long side as Mitch waiting on site for a pick. He's not going to find anything. There's Herbs, picks up site, and we're seeing here's the push from Requiem. That's 1, that's 2. Blackout picking up another. Herbs doing phenomenally well, getting a pick as well. And now it's Demo left way back at Playground. And he's going to be taken out on short. And that's Mitch rounding that round out with only 2 rounds left in the half. I believed that maybe Alpha Sydney could pinch a few rounds off of Corvidae, but 11-2. Looks like Corvidae is setting up for the 13-2 half.
Yeah, very possibly. I love that move from Herbs, how he moved right around through Fountain to get the pick from behind onto the T side. Really forced Alpha Sydney's hand, and once again, did not work out for him.
Didn't at all. We're seeing the push come through here. The nades are out. A lot of damage for Blackout. The poor guy getting tagged up. He swapped to his Tech 9 here. He sees Ares and gets the frag. Going to rotate back. Requiem, luckily not firing, or he might have team killed his friend.
Yeah, definitely don't want to kill your own teammates. But we do have a 5-on-4 Blackout sitting on only 9 health, but he's still got everything that he needs.
That's right. He's a bit of a glass cannon now. Not that he doesn't have armor, more that he's only got 9 health. But if he can manage to get another frag before he trades out his life, it'll be worth it. Well worth it for the CT side of Corvidae. They do have 2 AWPs here, so it's going to be interesting to see if Dans and Blackout are both going to be picked off first by Bassetti. And here's the poke. There it is. Bassetti picking up Blackout. Rough shot for Blackout. He's just not competing well in these AWP matchups.
No, well, Corvidae, they've been liking the double AWP right now, and they've still got one. Alpha Sydney may assume that they've taken out the AWP for the round. Dan's is sitting there with one, but Dan's gets taken out by Bassetti.
Bassetti making work with the AWP that he's picked up. Now reversed the player, well, basically the player lineup here, as he's managed to turn it over. Bassetti takes out Requiem with a big shot, and that's now 3 frags for him. He's going to fall down to Mitch, though, and that's the CTs trying to even this one up. We do see rotates coming through. Demo is coming through with Mwave near the site. It's going to be Cyb pushing. He made a lot of noise over on B, but Herbs is going to rotate back now. The T's have planted. They've got the angle on both short and long, looking for the boost here from Cyb. No, Mwave going to go toilets and watch this very fine angle here. Mitch needs to watch out for the long pick if he's going to go for this defusal. There's one. He's going to take out Demo. The rotate's coming through now. No, Alpha Sydney playing it slow. There's one for Mwave. Looks for a second. Alpha Sydney pulling it out. They've managed to get another round.
Alpha Sydney really needed that round as well. If they can at least go in 11-4, there might be half a chance. But if they were to go through as 13-2, not looking good from it all. But they still might be able to pull something out. A good round for them there. They actually managed to plant the bomb and set up around at that time. So if we can see that again, where they can actually take control of the site, because Corvidae has been so good at defending the site that Alpha Sydney's been pushing.
That's right. Alpha Sydney's been able to get a couple of picks, maybe a couple of entry frags, but because they're playing the very slow game, they're not getting picks, site, plant, out. We saw it happen in that round. They played the slow game and then pick, open, site, out, hold. That worked. They got frags around the site, dropped one, but traded for that and managed to win the round. I think it's an issue with pacing for Alpha Sydney. They're playing the slow game, but then not getting picks. And then those picks, when they do get them, they're not moving fast enough regularly. They did last round. Let's see if they can keep doing that as we move forward. Bassetti picks one, and Ares getting Requiem the boost near or on short. Not going to work out for Alpha Sydney. Big shots coming out of Dan's, and that's Demo dropping down now. 3v4. Bassetti is tagged up. 33 HP. He's going to take out Dan's. Not looking good as Ares picks up Mitch, and it's Herbs with 100 HP and M4 and a dream. But this site is going to be locked down. Ares going to find him, and there's the pop. Good half, 11-4.
Well, it was a good end for Alpha Sydney. It wasn't a good side, but it was a good end in the end. They managed to come away with the last 2, but Corvidae sitting there 11-4. They've only got to come out with 5 wins, and they're going to take this map.
Look, this map, it's good for Corvidae to take this one as the first in this set of 2 for tonight. It is their map pick. It's what we expected from them. If they can do so, I think we're going to be looking at a good game.
This would also be Corvidae's first win for the CGP this season, as they went 0-2 against Avant-Garde last week.
That's right. So it's a good morale boost for Corvidae as well. I'm sure we've got Martin DeBura sitting in chat watching this one to see how his boys play. And if they can win this one and push it out, it's going to be a good morale boost heading into Map 2. They've got their first map win of the season. And if they can steamroll that against the map pick of Mirage for Alpha Sydney, then I think we're going to do well.
Yeah, and if they can come away 2-0 out of this week against the Alpha Sydney side, then they'll be back to a 50-50 split, 2-2, and that would be very, very good for them, as especially trade-offs as 1-1 are very likely and common in a a best of two set of two scenario.
That's right. So it's possible. The match is paused at this halftime moment. We're waiting for the boys to ready up. One of the Corvidae guys having some connection issues, it seems, so he's going to refresh his game and come back in. Always a good idea. If you're having those connection issues, we've got halftime. We've got the time now. It's time for us to talk about what's going on in this game and get prepared for the second half. But it's always good to iron that out. You always want to make sure, especially with this, that they finish strong. And it's also a half a tactical thing as well. Alpha Sydney was gaining some momentum. Yes, halftime resets that, but when you've got a halftime break because of connection issues, Alpha Sydney can take this time. Hopefully, they manage to maintain the momentum they had finishing up the first half. And Corvidae is hoping for the opposite.
Yeah, Corvidae is hoping to just come in, win this pistol round, and coast home.
That's exactly right. Pistol round, win the anti-eco against Alpha Sydney, take home a full buy, and push out 2 more rounds after that. That's the game plan for Corvidae right now. We're going to have to see how they fare on the T side, though, as they make their entrance. They managed to hold the sides very well. You did touch on that. They managed to force the slow pick game and also trade picks back in the first half. Let's see their approach on the T side.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they change it up a little bit to what Alpha Sydney tried out. And if Alpha Sydney will be a little bit more aggressive. They don't seem to be an aggressive team, though. They like sitting back, and they like pushing together as a team.
They do. And look, they managed to have some few good trick plays, I guess you could call them. They're drawing heat over to the other side of the map, making noise over on B with smokes and flashes and shots and frags, and then 4 members pushing on A. It is a good thing to do on this map. It's great because although rotations for the CTs can be quite quick and effective, you are rotating to a completely different part of the map. It's still, although it's close, it's removed. And if you're forcing the CTs to do that as a T side, you're then forcing them to rotate, and if you're making them rotate from A to B, it's harder for them to push from B to A on the way back up those stairs and through bank. It's a limited zone, otherwise they have to run the whole map to get around. If you're pushing through from A to B, you've got Heaven, you've got the lower entrance, and moving through mid to then get onto B is a little quicker. So, you know, it's options here that we're going to see coming out from the Corvidae side. Shots ringing out already as we are underway. The match pause is over, and Mwave picks up Dan's. Aries picking up Requiem. Herbs drops Aries, and it's going to be the CTs of Alpha Sydney sitting up in Heaven. Bomb planted. Herbs with a big pick on a Bastetti. The USP acting like his second AWP, and it's going to be Demo taking one out on Herbs. The site is for the CTs to take. They got 3v2 here, and the nades ringing out. Blackout sitting at the back of site. He's here, Monster, looking for the pick here. He's going to go down a side, and no defuse is being stuck. We're hearing Mitch on short. Everyone watching short, and the defuse is going to be stuck out here. Mitch unable to push through there. Too many bullets ringing past his ears for him to do anything, and that is the momentum continuing for Alpha Sydney despite the halftime.
And Alpha Sydney really needed to win that pistol round. If they didn't take that, they were going to be without a paddle. Yeah,
they'd potentially be looking, if they had not taken that round, potentially looking at match point play coming off of that, losing that forced anti-eco. Even if they forced a buy and didn't take that round, then that would have been game over. So winning this first round, crucial for them, as they now have umps with Bastetti on his USP. It's going to be a Tech 9 buy for Herbs, and Dan's pushing through here for Corvidae. Big frags coming out of Aries. He's got 2. He's looking for a 3rd. He still hasn't fallen down yet. Requiem going to take him out. Demo gets Requiem. Swag takes out Blackout, and there it is. Alpha Sydney back-to-back here. Corvidae, boys, not sure what you're doing when you're pushing Monster again. Second time in a row. No different weaponry. Not pushing fast. Looking for picks when they're all bunched as a team, and a UMP coming out. It's going to take them all down.
And against better weapons, it's not looking fantastic. They got smoked. 4 players were still up for Alpha Sydney at the end there, so their economy is going to be looking very nice. But Corvidae has managed to get the AKs.
And look at the map here. We're seeing a massive aggressive push
in the same spot
coming out of Alpha Sydney. Alpha not looking to take B site and hold it. They're now rotating to get the pincer effect. We've got Heaven. We've got standard entry onto this side. Demo picking up Dan, so that's a good trade already. Bastetti has the AWP. No AWP on the side of Corvidae. And here it is from the back. Swag gets the wall bang onto Mitch. It's now 5v3 and a great opportunity for Alpha Sydney to pick this one up. Boom! There goes Bastetti taking out Blackout. The rivalry continues. Herbs picks up Swag's side, picking up Herbs. And the last kill goes down. Requiem gets Demo before Aries trades him out. Going to pick up that AK. Free guns and easy skins, boys. But that's going to be Alpha Sydney taking another round. 11-7 now. What a comeback for these guys.
Yeah, they're looking incredibly good right now.
3 rounds after half-time. They've made the play.
We'll see if Corvidae want to push Monster again.
Yeah, look, if they push Monster again, I think the issue that time wasn't the fact that they couldn't take the site. The site was given to them, is they couldn't hold against the retake. They didn't position well. They didn't use their utility. They used all the utility to get onto the site, had nothing left to prevent Alpha Sydney getting onto the site. Corvidae used everything up before they even got on there. So they need to pace their gameplay a little bit more. They're going to go for the slow play and look long in this round.
And Corvidae, again, they haven't got a fantastic buy. They used it all up, buying the AKs last round. And again, they didn't have the grenades last round to try and hold points. They couldn't throw a smoke out.
That's right, they used them all on their entry. Now they've got none left. We see the team headshot coming through, but Steady picks up Dan's. Demo getting herbs, and it's going to be Mitch trading outside. Beautiful AWP shot from Bastetti. It's going to be Requiem jumping around with his Tech 9 to pick him up. Corvidae doing well on the frags. It's going to be Mitch, 10 HP in a dream. Requiem, wow, good pronunciation, Judge. AWP on Requiem with 31 HP. And the shots ringing out from Alpha Sydney. Great angle watched by Requiem here. Mswag looking to fall prey. Could drop down. It's going to be down for him. Rotating towards the bank. Aries looking to rotate around. And there it is. Mswag picks up Mitch. We're looking Requiem watching the site here. He's going to look up for... No bomb plant here. Still trying to fake it out. And depending on Alpha Sydney to hear him doing so. We see the jumps. The bomb's been planted. And Alpha Sydney trying to gain information on this site. Here's the push. Big frag coming out. We're waiting for it. He's been lit up. He gets cooked, and Aries puts him down with a bullet from the AK. The molly, reducing the amount of time they have to defuse. But Alpha Sydney, they've got a kit, they've got a clue, and they're going to be defusing this one. And 2 members of their team still up. If they traded out M-Swag, wouldn't have been too much of a worry dropping that AK, but you want to hold on to that AWP. Bastetti's now been given it, and rivalry continues. We're still yet to see Blackout put Bastetti in his place, AWP versus AWP.
And Alpha Sydney have won the last 6 rounds now and are on an absolute tear. We see the full buy come out from Corvidae. Equal footing now. We'll see if Corvidae can do a better push this time.
Aggressive push from Alpha Sydney here. They're pushing all the way out into Fountain. They surely can hear Corvidae in Playground. Dan's takes out Demo. Side picks up 2 on Requiem and Dan's. Blackout on M-Swag. And Urs picks up Side. Blackout now getting another one. His AK serving him well. Bastetti the last one up. And Corvidae a 3v1 opportunity. They need to push these sites properly here. They have the time. Bastetti's rotating towards toilets and short. He's now looking in that midsection. B is completely open. But Corvidae, too slow, boys. There's one AWP up and he can't call out all 3 of you. He could. It's possible. But he's not going to.
And that's why you cannot rest at any second. They're still going slow. They're checking every angle. They don't want Bastetti with the AWP to pick off anyone without at least knowing where he is to get the trade.
He is going to rotate down through the connector now, and he's looking to the door. Going to move around here. He's still worried about the A site. Wants to check that before committing to going that way through to B. Of course, we do have Blackout waiting for him. He's waiting at the bottom of those stairs at that door to see if he can pick out Bastetti. Looks like he's going to opt for the save here. Sitting at the back near Playground and wants to hold on to that AWP for the next round.
I like the idea from Alpha Sydney at the start of the round where they wanted to be hyper-aggressive and push. Just try and catch Corvidae out a little bit. Definitely didn't work. They lost 3 straight up. And then Bastetti, the only one left in the end, can't really do a thing. And there he is, trying to save. We do see Blackout looking for him. He's moving into Fountain, but it may be just far enough away.
It might be. There's still time left in the round. Bastetti's watching downstairs. Blackout's not going to find him at the other end. He hasn't looked into Playground yet. And that's going to be a good save coming through for Bastetti. Blackout maybe needs to check all of his corners and all the hiding spots first. And Bastetti just making sure he saves that off. He's going to be translating that into round 21 here. 12-8. Alpha Sydney had 6 rounds uncontested. Corvidae has now brought back that lucky one.
Yeah, they finally got their T-side win. Alpha Sydney had been doing so well holding them off, but Corvidae may be helped out by Alpha Sydney a little bit with the aggressive attempt at the push. Yeah,
that's right. Aggressive CT didn't quite work out for Alpha Sydney, as we mentioned. And now we're going to be seeing the push down monster. Nades out everywhere. It's a waterfall here. And Aries opting for the water pick. He's going to try and see what he can get and what he can scrounge up in that position. We've got Cyb up in heaven. He's going to flash out here to help his teammates. Hope that was communicated. Don't want to flash out your team. He's seen one in Requiem. Blackout is sitting in the back. The plant is down. Bomb has been planted, and Bastetti watching the angle here. There's one big pick onto Mitch. Aries on the move around the site. Demo with his weapon going to be looking for some picks as well. Herbs sitting on the ramp. Blackout picks up Demo. There's one for Herbs on M-Swag. We're seeing Bastetti wait in heaven. This smoke needs to clear before his AWP's put to good use. A nice frag from Bastetti getting the fire molly kill on Herbs, and that's going to be Aries on Requiem. The site is for the CTs to take and retake with 10 seconds left. That's not going to be diffused by Aries. Dans picks up the pick here. He's delaying the pick, and Bastetti going to take him out, looking to save this AWP just in case. It's Alpha Sydney winning the round. The faith in Cyb is real, and Alpha Sydney, despite dropping one round, bring it back.
Dan's almost had the opportunity there to take out the 3 Alpha Sydney players that were looking for the bomb. He had the angles, he poked out, he didn't get shot himself, but he couldn't find the picks.
That's right. He couldn't find the picks and then got picked himself. And therein lies the issue. Alpha Sydney bring back this round. We're looking at the buys again. An AWP for Blackout, and Dans and Requiem pulling out those Tech 9s, looking for some big damage in the armor penetration with those, lacking a little in the money. My favorite weapon in the map right now is Aries with his Mag 7. The Swag 7 makes its appearance tonight, and let's see if he can make some moves. We had the XM come out last night for Chiefs. Let's see if Aries can make use of the Swag.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Both teams opting for the slower one now. Corvidae have been loving to push Monster, and Alpha Sydney have been loving to push down A short. Neither opting for either this time.
No, now it's a flip on the map, if you will, and neither's pushing hard. We've got Alpha Sydney heavily watching B, making sure they have that Swag 7 near Monster. Nades are falling out everywhere here onto the sites, flashes and smokes to restrict vision. And it's going to be the take here. Good smokes means easy sight. There's Herbs picking up one. He's looked bank but hasn't seen anyone. He's going to throw the molly out onto the stairs. Bomb is planted for A short. And now we've got Corvidae rotating into toilet and long positions to make sure they hold the angles here. With Dan still on site, looking to take one out. Aries picks up Mitch. Demo picks up Dan's, and he's just having to lay next to that bomb now. Requiem takes out Swag. And there goes Requiem down by Bastetti. Bastetti with the option to defuse here. He's going to look toilets and pick up one. Herbs goes down. And we're going to see Demo opting to push here. Blackout has the health advantage, has not hurt him, and good headshot. We can see the kit on Bastetti. He's got time to defuse, and he will. 10 rounds now for Alpha Sydney. They've caught this one up in heavy fashion. We did say this could happen on the CT side. We did mention that Alpha Sydney were simply trying to buy rounds when they were playing T so they can catch up now in the second half. They've done so. We're at 23 rounds, and Alpha Sydney are 2 rounds away from an even game.
Yeah, they picked up the last 2 rounds of their T side, and it's now really becoming effective. We thought it may have been a little bit trivial in the end because Corvidae could have come out, won the pistol round, and then just had complete momentum. And now we see once again another monster push.
A monster push comes out. Demo with the nades coming out. He's got the M4. He's going to fall down. Requiem and Blackout take him. M-Swag gets Blackout. Herbs picking up Aries and Mitch taking out Seeb. Herbs picks up yet another kill, and it's now 1v4. Blackout, the only trade, as Alpha Sydney's very own Bastetti. Look, he's the man of the clutch. We're waiting for him. He's done good things with that AWP. We need to see him pull out a big one. If he might be looking to save, might be looking to move around. He's got to watch toilets, though, because he's waiting there for him.
Yeah, poking around. If he can get another kill, might be handy as well, but he is down!
There it is. Hoop, there it is. Mitch takes the pick. He waited there in toilets because that's what he was waiting for. He was waiting for the save.
Yeah, the aggressive push from Corvidae really working out there that time. They rushed B through Monster once again, and it's paid off. I think that's the first actual round win they have got from it, though. They got in, they've taken the site, but that's the first time they managed to get 4 picks as they went in.
That's exactly right. Their entry frags worked out. Their holding of the site worked out. And then they forced Bastetti to try and save. Bastetti now on a scout. He's opting to keep his sniping prowess by his side. Just a little less firepower with those body shots. Hopefully he can dink those heads, though, and make some moves. And look, considering the way that both teams are playing, Corvidae's very balanced in the way that they're giving kills out. There's no one standout. Mitch has had great positioning, but in terms of actual frags, nobody is really standing out here. Mitch gets Demo, though. Great pick as he hears the jumping. And my God, the 5-7 from M-Swag. M not going to opt to go for the weapon. He's going to leave that M4 sitting in connector. Blackout watching that door. Good option for Swag not to go in there and try and push for that gun.
Still sitting back now, both sides 4v4. We got Alpha Sydney. They got a couple of pistols there too. A pretty decent buy from Corvidae.
It certainly is. They've managed to pick up M4s for Blackout and Dans. They've stolen them off the CTs. And, of course, Herbs and Requiem picking up the AK, so no AWP for these boys. I mean, they do have the range disadvantage against Pastetti. It all comes down to accuracy. Pastetti's got that scout. If he can hit headshots, he's going to get kills. He's just been tagged up by that frag. Saib is waiting here in the corner. Dans looked at him and didn't even see him. And that's going to be a pickup for the CT side. Pastetti hits heads. And that's going to be M-Swag taking out Herbs. Requiem gets Saib for the trade. It's going to be a rotate onto the side. He's watching Truck here. Swag with the push. And Swag gets tagged up, but not going to fall down. It's a 1v2. Pastetti pushes out. And good taps coming out with that Tech 9 from Requiem. But it's going to be a big trade out now. Alpha Sydney taking yet another round, 13-11, still only trailing by 2 rounds.
At this rate, it looks like Alpha Sydney could just whack their way through this and end up not even having to go to overtime. Corvidae looking to struggle. They have picked up two rounds on this side of the map. They need 2 more to at least force overtime and try and reset this because they aren't looking too fantastic, but they got almost a full buy here. Requiem just without a few nades.
There's 1 round to play with here, and if Alpha Sydney take out the next 5, they've already pushed for the win. That's all. That's their win condition right now. They can only afford to drop 1 round to Corvidae if they wish to take this one out without overtime. M-Swag looking over into the pit. He's not going to find anyone there. He's watching that door, and that's what he's rotating for, to try and see that angle, waiting for that door to open up so he can drop a nade. Not going to find anything there. The Corvidae side playing slow, not pushing hard.
No, not pushing too hard, but they are all stacked around the A-long, trying to move forward. They might go through toilets, but we'll see where they pick off. There's no real advantage on any route at the moment.
Not really. Mitch is sitting toilets. He's going to look for the pick once his teammates opt to enter. He's going to be faced by, oh my goodness, Pastetti dropped by Blackout, and there's the trade. It's not an AWP trade. The rivalry of the long shots is still going to remain. Requiem going to fall to Demo. Demo pushing the side, picks up an AK. Herbs gets sprayed through the smoke, and Mitch is going to pick up Demo. Mitch now opting to look to bank. He's going to move the truck, gets tagged up. He picks up Aries, and M-Swag versus basically the world here as he's up against Herbs and Dans. Herbs watching the angle. Dans faking the plant. No, he gets the plant. He's going to stick that one. He does look to almost get picked up there. It's going to be Herbs taking out M-Swag. Corvidae wins the round. 1 more point to match point. Alpha Sydney need to bring this back. The next 5 rounds for the win, 4 rounds for the draw.
And they're not going to have an exactly spectacular buy on the side of Alpha Sydney right now. So Corvidae looking very, very nice. Alpha Sydney almost came away with that. They bought extra time by just taking out the bomb plant just before it went down. So they bought some extra time, and then so low health on Corvidae's side, but 2 players versus 1, you're going to get picked off.
That's exactly right. The manpower's there. If they're moving as a team and pushing you at the same time, there's only so many heads you can tap in an instant, and it's not going to be fast enough for Corvidae to take out, Alpha Sydney to take them out. So Requiem picks out Pastetti. The rush coming through from the CTs, they're playing aggressive because they've got nothing to lose with their pistols this round. Side picks up 1. Good pick using the connector door to get the angle. That's Mitch going down. Mitch, a good fragger, and partially some of the reason why Corvidae's been so strong tonight. He's taken out. It's going to be bad things as they move on to here. Saib pushes back in. He does get tagged up by Dans through the wall. Demo on the site now. Saib picks up Herbs. Demo on Blackout. Demo now on Requiem. The 5-7 is doing wonders. Picks long. Saib using the AKs picked up. Trades out Demo for Dans. And it's going to be an Alpha Sydney round.
And you can't call it an E-code, but they had a fairly crummy buy.
They did. They had a bad buy. It was a bad round. It was essentially an anti-eco. They've picked up guns from their good map picks and their good positioning. Saib coming through that connector B door was opened that up for him, able to pick up a weapon from that, able to rotate around and get more picks. And beautiful work. Now we're seeing the eco, the pistol buy, the anti-eco coming through for the lads over the side of Corvidae. They're going to be looking to get some picks. They're all flashed out at the moment, sitting very, very hard back on the B side. They're looking once again for their monster. I know there's a long-standing joke, but well, not so much a joke, but a campaign between Margin Dabura and Jack Hutto to make Hutto a monster. Doesn't mean you push it every time. Aries picks up Mitch, and he's going to fall down to Dans, but gets plenty of damage out before he drops. The mollies come out, the nades coming through here, and there's the tag. Demo on the switch. Herbs going to pick one up. Demo picks up 3 now, and there is only Herbs left to stop him, sitting on short.
Aries did so much damage as they came through Monster there that it was going to be so hard to recover. And
Demo with a 4K though.
Whoa!
He's turned it on, one off an ace. He did phenomenally well from down in the pit, moving up. He got the nade, which got a lot of damage down, moved up with his M4, took picks along the way, and then the final one on Herbs on short to hold that site 14-13. It's still possible. The Alpha Sydney comeback dream is possible in this match.
It certainly is. It's, again, not a fantastic buy for Corvidae, as they are going to have to come big in the next round. They should have enough by then.
They certainly should there. Got the Tech 9s now. They're looking for that armor penetration that the Tech 9 offers, as well as the right damage. Bastetti, though, boosted up and able to get a great shot onto Herbs, opening up the map for the CTs once again and relieving some of that map pressure the T's just passively exert. You don't know where they are when you don't have information. Good smokes coming out here. And I mean, look at the buys. We've got two AKs on the side of Alpha Sydney in Demo and Cyb. Bastetti's got his AWP once again. He's happy and he's got a pick with it already this round. And M-Swag and Aries M4s, different M4s respectively, of course. M-Swag preferring the M4A1S. Perhaps he likes the better accuracy on that one. Aries opting for more bullets, more frags. So it's going to be hard pressed for Corvidae. They need to make it rain with their smokes and use them effectively. They might be able to use those smokes to push into this site over on A. They're probably going to make them rain like they did last time and get the smokes out to then establish toilet side dominance of the site. But then they got to hold it.
They certainly do. It looks like they're going to use their standard push through A long right now. But the A side is completely stacked by Alpha Sydney. They've only got one looking at the B side, but he can transfer between both. So they are about to walk into an absolute storm.
Certainly are, with Cyb looking at this one. Bastetti pushing around. He's looking for an angle. 24 seconds on the clock. And here come the nades. They're pushing for time here. Bastetti with the fire through smoke. Gets the angle. Is going to take out Mitch. We've got the plant coming down from Dance, though. Blackout picks up Cyb. Demo on Dance. Bastetti gets Blackout. That's going to be the planter down. Requiem picks up Demo. He's got an AK now, and he's looking for the kills. Flash out, though, in a bad position. And M-Swag going to pick up Requiem. Alpha Sydney wins the round. They've done it. They've tied it up. They went from an 11-4 deficit to a 14-14 even here as we head into round 29. They win the next two, and they pull back this map in a way that I thought impossible. Yeah,
well, 11-2, and they brought it back to 14-14. That is nuts. But now we have proper buys from both sides. Corvidae have to win this one. Otherwise, Alpha Sydney, you'd think, are just going to run away with it.
They will run away with it. It's going to be hard on the economy for Corvidae if they get reset once again. They'd lost so many rounds in a row that they're getting that losing bonus, and now they win a round. You know, it's going to be hard for them to come back once again. You know, it's good. They're basically buggered if they get reset on this one. So Alpha Sydney looking to hold here. They do have the AWP still in Bastetti. Bastetti's been a monster with that this game. He's got the long range advantage. The AKs, they're looking for those taps long range, but it's always easier with a scope to see further.
It certainly is, but you have to find the players. Grenade going over, trying to just put some sort of back onto the T side. T's aren't moving too fast. They're looking at the B site, moving up very, very slowly, though. They've got just under a minute for that plan.
Just under a minute left, as you said, 14-14. Alpha Sydney looking to hold this, and Corvidae going to opt once again for Monster, it seems. They're looking for, oh no, maybe they're going out through the left-hand side, going to be looking for a bit of a change-up here in water and going short. But they've got limited time, and their nades, they're just going to line those up once again, make it rain and push hard.
Monster might have actually been a good idea, though, as no one was sitting there looking through the tunnel.
We do see, though, M-Swag sitting pretty, waiting for them. He's waiting at the back of the site. Nades all over it. It's going to be the push from Corvidae to get onto it. Demo picks up one on Mitch. Blackout going to get Demo, and bam! Cyb gets put down by Blackout. Herb sitting short, picks up one. Aries picks up a kill before he gets dropped. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Alpha Sydney have won the round. Corvidae could still do it. Potential last round, or it is the last round of the match, I should say. They could still force this overtime. They have to force by regardless. They've got some money to play with. It'll be interesting to see what they pull out here as we head into what could potentially be the final round of this map.
Certainly could be, or we could go to the extra 6 of the overtime. But Alpha Sydney, they're looking so good right now. It's not a great buy for Corvidae, and they are pushing Monster hard once again, straight through the fire, and it's going to burn up Herbs.
Mwave getting naded out, and now Corvidae rotate back. They opted to buy a Galil for Requiem. That does give them a little bit of range, but not too much damage over the distance. And the Tech9's coming out for the rest of the team. They opted for utility. They've wasted half of their utility on the B side. Now they're going to rotate and see if they can push and take A. If they do opt for that A rotate, don't think it's going to work for them. Cyb takes out Mitch, and Requiem's going to get Cyb. So good trades coming through there. But it's still leaving Corvidae on the back foot. The spray's coming through the wall here. Blackout not going to find any tags as he shoots through the hole. And I think that's just a little bit cheeky coming out from Demo there in Mwave as they use the wood to their advantage, trying to wallbang someone to close out this round. Under a minute left now, T-Bor, and it's dire straits for Corvidae.
Corvidae have picked up a few better guns, but they are really up against it now. They haven't looked fantastic on this T side, and Alpha Sydney, they just need this one round.
That's all they need. One round. It's match point, and Alpha Sydney could reverse a massive deficit to take this one back on the CT side. And if they do, I'm going to say confirmed strats. They were just trying to buy rounds in the first half.
Exactly. Just wait. Get those last 2 for momentum. And here we go. Corvidae, they're leaving us very late. Only 17 seconds left. They're going to have to storm on to this point.
Oh. They've left it too late, though, it seems. A barbecue coming out, Bastetti picking up Dan's. Demo gets Requiem. Blackout takes Demo, and Mwave takes out Blackout to finish out the round. And the massive return for Alpha Sydney, 16-14 from an 11-4 deficit. They not only caught up 7 rounds, they got in the lead and hard fought for that as well. A great first map here for the Acer CGPL Autumn Series. My name's been Judge Brand. I've been joined by LFT Bor, and we'll be right back with the second map heading to Mirage for Alpha Sydney.